Before we left the Radio Canada building this morning, I always do this. I go, okay, the guy who's going out there today into this world, the city of 3 million people, and I don't have a story, I'm nervous. I don't know what I'm going to get. We are going to La Papeterie Saint-Armand. It is right over here. It's in an industrial part of the city. What if there isn't a story? Then there's bits and pieces that I'm going to use for another story. There's always stories. Bye-bye. It's lovely. There's this wonderful song from an Icelandic singer. Salut. My heart is beating like a jungle drum. This is vous. My heart is beating like a jungle drum. 20 years of my life, 30 years of my life in this bag. So that's what it is. You know, I go out into the field and I say to myself, you, we're going to do something about you. And I'm going to fill this up with you. And when it's me, the journalist, going out to do there, I have all kinds of questions I can ask that I would never ask. People's salaries, who they're sleeping with, what their relationship is with their kids, whether or not they fight with their grandfather. I would never ask those things as a person unless I was really close to them. But as a journalist, I'm allowed to do that kind of thing. It's a couple of people, David and Denise, who for years have been making handmade paper. Now the rents are going up. And David and Denise are having to think, are we going to stay here? Can we afford to stay here? Where are we going to go? Do we continue in the paper business? When a city changes, do artists get pushed out? And then where? And the banks are saying, you're going to have to invest all this money if you want to get bigger and bigger and bigger. They don't want to get bigger and bigger and bigger. David's in his 70s. What do you do? So that's what we're going to talk about. Because the city is changing, and so this neighborhood becomes sort of wealthier, and then artist types get chased out, and
right.
small.
That's what.
That's what's happening.
It's an organic thing, but it's.
Does that make you angry then?
Up to a point, it's disappointing, but anger, no, not.
You're too wise for anger.
It's too organic. You see, it's an organic process brought on by stupidity on the part of city managers.
Taxes in Montreal? I'm not going to sit in some bureaucrat's office and talk about tax structure, because that's what they'll want to do. I want to get into the field. I want to walk amongst the people making paper. I want to see Denise showing me how she makes her books. And as they do that, they're going to give birth to a kind of enthusiasm that'll come through on the radio. Because you got to grab the listener's ear. There's a million things happening. People are going to be listening in their cars. They're going to be listening on their headphones as they walk down the street. They're going to be listening when they're on the train on the way to work. And I go, how am I going to grab that person? Well, I'm going to take that person, that listener, into the lives where they've never been before. Meet people you haven't met before. Take them on a journey. And you do that with a documentary. You have to be so awake, you have to be so engaged with the other, that in fact the walls fall down. Because when you're actively listening and you're thinking, what are they saying here? Why am I interested in this? Where is this going? So if I walk around here and talk to other small owners, are they going to feel like you do? Like
I suspect.
You suspect, yeah.
But we're not particularly well organized. Everybody's just too damn busy.
No.
It is a story.
It is a story.
But it's just one story, but it might reawaken others to tell theirs.
How am I going to bring this place alive on the radio? Because visually it's unbelievable. It's a masterpiece. I'm going to digest it. Because making a documentary is not going on a freeway from point A to point B. There's meandering. You wander around. You pick things up and you look and you go, oh my God, what's this? What am I finding here? Municipalities, Montreal taxes changing. There's something in the air right now that I can feel. And I don't know exactly what it is, but it's about a city changing, new neighborhoods being built on top of old neighborhoods and so on. And so coming here, I can test it out. And I'm looking for a focus statement. You know, somebody is doing something to somebody because. So David Carruthers is planning on closing his handmade paper manufacturing business in Montreal because, why? And that's what I started working away on. Why? So I'll write this down, focus it. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What are you doing with these drawings? I'm looking at them just to figure out what's in them. And afterwards, I don't know. After seeing the building where they're located, all those tiny little businesses in there, I go, there's other small businesses I'm sure I could talk to and construct a story about a couple of characters. Well, why should I care about that? Well, I'll tell you why you should care about that. Because these are two people who've given this amount of time and this amount of energy in their life to this. And if it's going to die, well, you should know why it's going to die. Because you're going to die too. You, the listener, are going to die. So, hey, maybe there's something in here that you're going to learn about your own death, about your own ability to live. So that's always humming underneath the documentary.
Yeah, is there anything else you want to add that we didn't chat about?
We didn't talk about sex or drugs or religion. You should always try and get a bit of sex, a bit of drugs, and a bit of religion into your documentary because, you know, it keeps people from going to sleep.